In April, the University of Arizona's administration rolled out plans for deep pay cuts to faculty and staff and began announcing layoffs and non-renewals in response to a budget crisis worsened by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Coalition for Academic Justice at UA, consisting of students, faculty, and staff, joined together to advocate for an alternative that would protect students and lessen the impact on the Tucson economy. The Coalition's alternative furlough plan shifts more of the sacrifice to the university's highest paid administrators and protects the lowest paid and most vulnerable workers.
What we did was just to increase proportionally the contributions about $2,100 of an annual salary to the very top, and also limiting the highest contribution to 30%. We have the most complete and accurate data that is available to the public. Still, the results are, in terms of savings, are comparable to the original plan. First step is to establish a floor, and establish a floor not as a result of a cold calculation trying to fit all the numbers, but being compassionate. What is the minimal annual salary which should not be required to offer contributions, financial contributions to the plan at the university? And we did some research, and we studied some research. And it shows that if you make less than $70,000 a year, in order to recoup a month of lost wages, you will have to keep on working for 32 months. On the other hand, if you make above $200,000, it will take about a month and a half to recoup a loss of 1 month of salary. So that makes evident the lack of proportionality. In our case, if the university asks you to contribute 15% of your salary because you're making $70,000, they're asking you to contribute 2 months of your annual salary. It will take you to recoup 64 months of work.
The university's plan places a disproportionate burden on the most vulnerable workers, as well as on the majority of its staff and faculty, so that the highest paid administrators might preserve their privilege.
$70,000 has a special meaning in our community at the University of Arizona, because the most vulnerable people tend to be exactly under that level. They tend to be the vast majority of university staff, of classified staff, of instructors, lecturers, and career track, and most of the not yet tenure track professors at the university. Those are the most vulnerable people. They are. So we thought, let's establish the floor at $70,000. We've been hearing in all the town hall meetings that the president and his people have been offering around campus, that it was either this draconian plan or firing people, which we know now that it was also false, because they've started firing people in crucial services at the university. The writing program, really well-respected program. There's student services for retention, really programs that carry on the mission of the university. We are trying to really figure out how to describe the impact on the Tucson community of a cut of $100 million to the biggest employer in the city. And obviously, that is going to have enormous consequences for the community and for the recovery, the financial recovery of our community after the pandemic. When we go to it south of 22nd, the concerts from local musicians that need our support, the exhibits from local artists are going to be impacted, because those are the business that we support as part of the community. As an example, preserving the privilege of the higher earners of the university I don't think it's going to have the direct impact on the small business in Tucson that the extreme salary cuts that the rest of us are going to suffer.
The coalition believes furloughs and layoffs are unnecessary and is calling for an independent audit. The coalition believes any plan must be equitable. It can't demand the largest sacrifice from the most vulnerable. The coalition's alternative plan demonstrates there are more equitable solutions. The coalition wants to work with the administration to develop a more compassionate plan that addresses both furloughs and layoffs in a way that will support students, staff, and faculty during this crisis.
It's really questionable whether the university, based on the university financial assets as we know they are now, really needs this type of plan. The administrators who ratify this plan, first, is an executive group that makes on average $535,000 a year. So for them, to contribute 20% would mean that they will go happily back to mid-2018, a year and a half ago, as opposed to 10 to 11 years like the rest of us. We also have to consider that I think they are really privileged, and the numbers are very clear. The top 10 administrators at the University of Arizona gave themselves an average annual increase of $113,000 last year. If one starts to think, how many of those positions that have been fired while they were saying that the plan is going to preserve jobs, can you fund just with their average increase in last year? I think there is no doubt that what they are doing is preserving their privilege, and that we are suffering two viruses, the COVID-19 and the other virus that is always attacking us, that is the virus of inequality, and that's another clear manifestation of what is happening.